Hi guys, I'm Olivia, and this week I interviewed my mom, Stephanie Dobbs. She's part of Generation X and I'm in Generation Z, so we have very different views and experiences because of our ages. My mom grew up in Sisseton, South Dakota, and she now lives in Castlewood, South Dakota. She's also a nurse who joined the Navy when she was younger, married my dad, Jason Karst, had 2 daughters, divorced, and remarried my stepdad, Greg Dobbs. She also has a stepson named Gage Dobbs, and I learned a lot from talking to her, and I'm excited to share what I discovered talking to her and asking her these questions. So, our generational differences, I would say my mom are from 2 different generations. She grew up in a time where technology wasn't as advanced as it is now. For example, she didn't have smartphones or smartwatches or the internet like I do. I've grown up with the internet and social media, and it's a big part of how I connect with people and get information. My mom, on the other hand, had a closer connection to the people in her community and didn't rely on technology as much as us kids nowadays do. And so while talking to her, I noticed we had some more similarities, or not even more, but just some similarities. Even though we come from different generations, there are still a lot of things that we have in common. And one of those is family value. We both value our family and the time that we have with each other. We both believe in the importance of family. For my mom, family has always been her number one priority. Whether it was with her kids or her new family after remarrying, I feel the exact same way. I value spending time with my family and making sure we're close and we never forget or disconnect with each other. Another one is work ethic. My mom worked hard as a nurse, and I admire how dedicated she's been in her career. Even though my work might be different, I believe in putting in effort and doing my best in whatever I do, just like she did growing up. And that's one of the probably the top ones I value about her. And another one is community involvement. My mom is always looking for ways to help people, whether it's through her job as a nurse or being involved in her community. I also try to help and get involved, even if it's just in small ways, but I always try my hardest to help with whatever I can and do the best to my ability to help with our community, because living in a small town, coming all together as a community can really make a big difference. And then, speaking of differences, we also have some differences in our views and perspectives because of the time we grew up in. And so I noticed when we were talking that one difference with us is technology. And before technology plays a huge role in my life, from staying in touch with friends to finding information to FaceTiming friends, my mom didn't have that when she was growing up. So she looks at the world completely different in terms of technology and communication as I would, because I think communication is everything to me. Like, I am literally filming my video on my iPhone right now. Another one is social norms. My mom grew up in a world with different social norms and expectations, especially when it comes to things like family life and gender roles. I've grown up with more freedom and in change in how society views these topics, which sometimes leads to differences in how we see the world. And back then, she just didn't really have anything. They all stuck to one thing. Another is work and career choices. My mom joined the Navy and became a nurse, which was common for women at the time. I think I have more options in terms of career choices because of the way society has changed and how more opportunities have opened up to me as time changed. If you know what I'm talking about, there's just a lot more things that us women can do. And my mom mentioned a few big events that shaped her view of the world. One major change for her that I remember was joining the military or the Navy, which gave her a different perspective on independence. And I was thinking about going into the military earlier, but I don't know. She also lived through big events like the end of the Cold War and the rise of technology, which all played a part in shaping how she sees the world today. And I don't know, it's just kind of cool to think about sitting down and asking these questions. And the 3 questions that I asked that I found very interesting was I asked my mom 21 questions, and 3 answers stood out to me the most. And so when I was interviewing her, these specific answers just kind of made me look at the world differently. And I asked her what her biggest challenge she faced in her life was, and she talked about balancing her career as a nurse and raising a family. Her answer made me realize how tough it can be to juggle both work and personal life, and made me think how hard she actually works as a mother and as a nurse. And I also asked her what the best piece of advice she's ever received. She said, "Always do your best no matter what." which really stuck with me. It's something I try to live by now that she said that. I never really thought anything big of it until she told me about it. And lastly, when I asked her about how she stays positive through such tough times, she shared how important her faith and family have been to her. It made me appreciate the strength that comes from having a support system like her and my dad and my stepdad and all my family. And so, in conclusion, I don't know. In conclusion, I'd say the most important thing I took away from this interview was how our differences and similarities show how much society has changed over time. By talking to my mom, I gained a better understanding of her experiences, and it really helped me think about how my generation is shaped by the world around us. The conversation allowed me to use my sociological imagination, thinking about how different social, historical, and culture forces have shaped both her worldwide and mine. And yeah, thanks for listening. I hope you found it interesting because I sure did. Bye.